Good morning everyone and welcome back to a new episode here of the Daily Gaming News at the New Bite. My name is Halstead and let's just jump right into it. First bit of news is actually very interesting because PUBG has been banned in Nepal. Yes, this is true, and every internet provider and platform holder has to actually adhere to the ban. This was released yesterday and starting today right away. And the move comes after the Nepal Metropolitan Crime Division filed a public interest litigation with the Kathmandu District Court on Wednesday. And just a day later, the Nepal Telecommunication Authority has called for all ISPs and mobile service providers to block the game. That is insane. Kinda insane, yeah. The Metropolitan Crime Division Chief Dhiraj Pratap Singh, I hope I said that half right at least, told the Kathmandu Post, we also held discussions with psychiatrists before requesting the Kathmandu District Court for permission to ban the game. The move was actually inspired by psychiatrists. Parents in schools had complained that the game was affecting their children's studies, so making them more aggressive, he said. When we consulted with the psychiatrist, they also said that the violence in the game can make people aggressive in real life. Oh my god, okay, interesting. I still think this is a game for adults, not for teens and younger, but that's just me. It's just completely banning it just feels a little bit harsh, because what about the adults? They're just allowed to play the game. Oof. Big old oof. What do you think about this ban, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on, actually, Rockstar drops a lawsuit against the Pinkertons, which I have to explain a little bit, because a few months ago, actually, when Red Dead Redemption 2 launched, the Pinkertons, which are also the bad guys basically in the game, there's also a real-life counterpart for them, and they are actually a law firm. And these Pinkertons actually said, hey, actual Rockstar, can you please not do that? Because we feel like the name is getting pulled into the mud. And then the Pinkertons first sued Rockstar. Rockstar made a countersuit, and now probably everything is just stepping down a little bit because Rockstar dropped their part, which was probably just as a counter mechanism to defend themselves as well, which they claimed, hey, this is actually a fair use, how this has been portrayed there, and then it has nothing to do with the real life version today. So yeah, I was assuming this lawsuit mess is probably resolving itself. Somebody did some deals behind closed doors and then it all just resolves. And Rockstar is actually the first one to drop the lawsuit, whereas the Pinkertons lawsuit has not moved on yet. So it will probably just drop under the rock and they all pretend like nothing has happened. And Tim Sweeney went to Twitter again and answered some questions about the Epic Game Store. Just a heads up, today we will also release our little discussion of the Epic Game Store and why people hate it so much. It's like a 30-minute long discussion where we had lots of fun and interesting points being looked up in the roadmap. And yeah, right now we have, of course, also an update, seeing as it is. There's a few things that are not coming. For example, trading card gaming won't come to the Epic Game Store. Also, there won't be an internal forum. Instead, the Epic Game Store wants to, of course, promote the idea that the developers should go on their own store page and link to external forums like the Reddit forums that they have, maybe. What's cool is, at least, if you buy one version of a game, you will get any other version as well. So if there's a PC release and a Mac release, and who knows, maybe later on also a Linux release, you will get access to all versions of the same game. Of course, the whole thing is linked here in the video description down below if you want to check it out yourself. And talking about Epic right now, yes, also for Fortnite, there apparently will be the Thanos event coming back again, just in time for Avengers Endgame at the end of the month. And in DLC news, we have All Might joining the character roster for Jump Force, and that happened actually yesterday, so it's already out. And then Octopath Traveler will move on to Steam on June 7th, in case you have not played it yet on the Nintendo Switch. Yes, it's finally also moving over to PC. The same also goes for Yakuza Kiwami 2, because that will actually launch over on May 9th, also on the PC. And as the last bit of Japanese gaming news, we have From Software's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice also sold more than 2 million copies in less than 10 days. Congratulations From Software for that. And they have one more bit of news actually, and that is actually Xbox mocking Google and Stadia, its platform, because they say, actually, we think Google does not have the content for it yet. They may have the infrastructure for putting off game streaming via Google Stadia, but Xbox, of course, wants to promote their own platform, which is called xCloud, and they say, well, we have at least the content. So it's really very interesting to see how this will move on. Of course, if you want to see the whole statement thing here yourself, look it up. It's in the description down below, not far from our subscribe link if you want to hit that as well, maybe. And that's the last bit of news, which I personally find very interesting. Of course, Netflix has already seen lots of changes. Marvel and, of course, Disney-owned properties are slowly moving away, and we knew that Disney Plus is the streaming service that Disney itself wants to launch. And now we have a date and we have a price, and it will be on November 12th that Disney Plus will launch for $6.99 per month or for for $69.99 a year, which comes down then to $5.83 per month effectively. The whole service will of course come to every device possible, so smart TVs, consoles also, and of course on PC via the web browser. And here's the thing, apparently not everything will be available right away. There's a very, very large archive, which is called the Disney Vault, where movies are just being held, but mostly not digitized or remade until it's basically their time for, them to be released, because they do that in cycles and everything. And apparently it takes a little longer because within the first year or so, there will be lots of more titles being added. For example, with Star Wars, the original trilogy and the new trilogy are coming over, as such as also Star Wars The Force Awakens again, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story. But, for example, The Last Jedi won't come over, and Solo will also not come over until later in the year. This also moves on, like, for example, Incredibles 2 is coming later. But, the more time progresses, of course, the releases will be very much closer, of course, and they will be effectively collecting all, of course, which they have in their entire catalog, which also accounts, of course, for Marvel series, because we have new series being announced here, which I find very interesting. We have, for example, Wanda and the Vision having its own spin-off series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki is getting its own series, and there's also an additional one, which is just called What If, which asks the question, what if, for example, Peggy Carter actually becomes a Winter Soldier, like Super Soldier, and things like that. So it's going to be very interesting, of course, for Marvel fans as well. They're getting lots of more series over on Disney+. And also last bit of news, of course, since the Fox merger with Disney is finally done. Yes, also, of course, The Simpsons will come over to Disney+. All of the 31 seasons and of course the upcoming 32nd season are coming over to the streaming platform. And with that, we're done for today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. It has been a pleasure. Please also check out the New Byte Roundtable discussions. Yesterday we talked about E3 and what we want to see in 2 months' time in June around the E3, of course, event. We know there's also, of course, stuff happening that has nothing to do with E3 because the publishers wanted to do their own events. And yeah, check it out. It's a link in the video description as well as our Watch Dogs 3 discussion. And just as a reminder, also this afternoon we have another discussion roundtable where we talk about the Epic Game Store. So check that all out, subscribe to not miss any news or content that we put out here, with lots of things coming in the next few days and weeks. So yeah, it's really worth giving us a subscription. Have a nice day, guys, have a nice weekend, and see you soon again. My name is Celsius, I'm out, and goodbye.